Hey guys, welcome. So, my skin's not great, as you can probably tell by the chin area. So if you're watching this, maybe your skin isn't great either, and it is probably so frustrating if you're even remotely like me. I just find that when my skin's not good, it drives me crazy. And I love makeup. I love applying makeup. I love playing with makeup, obviously. But when I apply makeup onto my skin and I'm having a breakout, I just find so much of the time it's always looked worse, in my opinion. Like, maybe from a picture or something, it looked okay. It just feels caked on my face. It looks like I've literally thrown a cake onto my face, like a beige skin colored cake. And it just looks like makeup covering up pimples. And that is the last thing you want when your face has pimples on it. You just want to be able to conceal them and have people not really know. The past 5 months have been breakout after breakout. I don't know what it is, but my chin especially, it's like as soon as they come to the surface, they leave, another one is just turning, and it drives me insane. So I think I found a pretty good concoction. It works really well for me, and I have a couple of rules that I go by, especially when my skin's really not doing so hot. So I'm gonna walk you guys through what those rules are. I'll apply my makeup so you can see what I'm doing. I'll tell you, but the thing is with this, I'm not gonna go into too much detail about specific products that I'm using. I mean, I'll tell you, don't worry. But I'm not gonna go into too much detail about why that particular product is just so incredible. Instead, I'm gonna tell you the types of products, because I actually think that's what's working for me. I'm starting to get a sense of when I wanna use wet products, when I wanna use powder-based products, that kind of thing. So that you can use what you have at home, hopefully, or go to your store of choice, whether it be a Sephora, a department store, or what's the word I'm looking for? Drugstore, or whatever is in your budget. You can go there and you can choose your products of choice, and hopefully this will work for you as it's worked for me. So let's get into it. I'll show you what I do. So the first thing is preparation. For me, this is super important when I'm really breaking out or something's just up with my skin. If it's super dry, anything, I need to prep the skin properly. So my suggestion is find a moisturizer or a sunscreen, something that works really well and is hydrating for your skin that you like to use under your makeup on a daily basis. I also recommend using an eye cream, a day eye cream, just because the under eye area is somewhere to me that even if I'm not breaking out, it can look really dry and just look kind of shitty under my makeup. And when I'm breaking out on the rest of my face, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really break out under my eyes. I think that's a bit of an unusual place to break out. But when I'm breaking out in the rest of my face, I'm usually feeling a little bit insecure about my skin. And when I'm putting on makeup, it's a little bit more stressful than normal. So I don't want another area of my face to take away from that and start stressing me out as well. So tip number 1 is prepare your skin. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna use. I am going to use the Lancome 50 Plus sunscreen. It's made for the face. It's beautiful. It's very lightweight. I'm also going to use this Elizabeth Arden eye cream. This is the Good Morning Eye Treatment. Not too much on the hand. Apply it all over my face. Bring it kind of down onto my neck a little bit. And then I'm also going to use this eye cream. And all I do is I dab it in between my fingers and then I just pat it on right under the eyes. And then I actually do the top of the lid as well to just get it. Tip number 2, wait. Do not apply makeup when your face is super wet with a moisturizing product. I know it sounds kind of weird and you might think that you should just jump right into it while your skin is really moisturized, but it hasn't sunk into your skin yet. And one thing I found that I would apply my makeup way too quickly right after I'd applied a moisturizer or a sunscreen on my face. And all the makeup would kind of stick to it. I don't know if you guys have had that too, but all the makeup just sticks to my face weirdly. It drives me crazy. It looks terrible. So I'm just gonna sit here, put my little mirror in front of me here so I can see myself, and I can actually apply makeup like a human. You know, in my first few videos that I did a year ago, when I had no idea what I was doing, I still don't, but I really had no idea what I was doing, I would apply my makeup in the viewfinder of the camera, and it was impossible and awful. There was once when I did a whole video in the viewfinder, so like this big, really far away from me, and I was like trying to apply my makeup, and then it just looked so bad after I'd finished the video. I don't think I ever put that video up into the world at all. It looked so bad. So if you ever want to make videos, do not do that. Get a mirror or a big monitor or something, I don't know. Now we're ready to start our makeup. First thing I'm going to use is the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. This stuff is illuminating. I've got the like dark kind of bronzy colored one. So I'm actually gonna just dab this around my face. And then with my hands, I'm just gonna rub it in. This is just gonna help apply a little extra bit of glow and moisture to my face before I go in with something that will cover everything up a bit more. I have found that contrary to what I might think, for so many years if I had like a bad skin day or bad skin month, things weren't going so well, I would use really, really hydrating products, very lightweight products, and whilst they work really well, and I think a lot of people might prefer that, and it would be a totally good solution. For me, what I like the most is to get a medium coverage foundation that's a little bit more on the matte side. So I'm going to use the Revlon Instafilter foundation. You guys have seen me use it before. I really like this foundation. It's buildable. It's definitely medium and not light coverage, but it's very skin-like and very covering at the same time. So I can cover things up really well, which is what I like so I'm just gonna crank this, and I am going to apply it kind of like this, just dabbing around my face. And then where my problem area is, I'm gonna concentrate a little bit more of the product, like this. I'm going to do it up on my forehead and down the bridge of my nose. Oh, a lot came out of my nose. Did not mean to do that. So, now that I have applied it everywhere, my weapon of choice has been the Tarte foundation brush. I really love this foundation brush. It's great. It's kind of a more affordable foundation brush-ish. It's not super cheap, but compared to some of them out there, it is cheaper. So I'm going to use this to buff it into the skin. So you'll see it's going to provide quite a lot of coverage. It really helps on these kinds of skin days. So really lightly, in circular motions, I'm gonna apply that. Okay, so now I have some coverage on my face, covering up those pimples a bit more, evening out the skin tone. It's not super lightweight, but it's not super heavy, and it's a little bit more on the mattifying side, which to be honest isn't something I'd usually go for. I do love this foundation. I find it's just a really, really, really nice drugstore product, but when my skin is like this, I do find it really helps to cover things up more. And when I have a more illuminating foundation or a more dewy foundation, I find that it shows the bumps on my face a little bit more than I would like it to. So what I do is I counteract that with kind of a more hydrating concealer. I like to just apply it with my fingers. I find that this just like helps me keep more of the product on, but be able to like work it in to the skin, and then I will go over it with a damp beauty blender after that, just to make sure it's not looking too cakey in any spots. Okay, so next up is I like to apply concealer obviously onto the pimples. They're pretty covered up with the foundation that I was using, but I want to cover them up a little bit more. What I like to do is get another concealer, but more of a yellow toned concealer. The reason being, my pimples are a little bit more red at the moment, and I find that the yellow kind of like counteracts that for me and works really well to kind of conceal them a little bit more. So I'm going to use this, which is the Becca, actually just don't even know which one this is. This is a Becca concealer. I'll try and find out which one it is and link it down below. It's very lightweight. I actually don't like it under my eyes because I don't find it does much, but it's quite good for covering up pimples and spot concealing when they're kind of bigger. I do find that the best thing to use when the pimples are kind of not too rough or dry on top is I do like to use still my matte creamy concealer or something kind of pot concealing like this and just really spot conceal it. But right now my pimples on my face, especially on my chin, are kind of drier, and I find if I do something like that, it will really show on top of the pimple. It will make it look really dry and kind of stand out. So all I'm gonna do is use my damp beauty blender to ever so slightly like pat on top of it. And that I find helps a little bit for me. Cover them up just ever so slightly more. For me, when my skin's like this, it's never going to be perfect, but it's gonna be the best it can be. And this is kind of what works for me, what makes me feel kind of better about it all. So that's what I'm gonna do there. So next I'm gonna do my brows, and I'm actually going to use a powdered brow product. For some reason, I just like this one. My skin's kind of not the best. I like to use a powdered brow. So I'm gonna do that now and I'll be right back. Okay, now as always, I'm just gonna cover it up with the Glossier Boy Brow. Okay, so now I'm gonna apply bronzer. I do like to use it just to kind of shape the face a little bit more. I don't have a super kind of slim face, so I like to kind of like add some shape to it. So I'm gonna use this Chanel Mousse bronzer, kind of cream-based bronzer, because on top of the more matte product of the foundation, I do find this quite nice to kind of layer on top of it. But I would suggest using any bronzer that's a little bit more lightweight, maybe cream or a mousse bronzer, something that isn't too drying, but any sort of powdered bronzer will work too. My only suggestion with bronzer when your skin's not doing so hot is don't over apply it. Try and use it sparingly. So for me, I'm gonna show you where I apply it. I apply it only to the places that I feel like will really make a difference. So for me, I like to do the cheeks. The temples and around the forehead, but not in the middle. And the jawline. Bringing it down onto the neck, of course. Try and blend it. And the reason I do the bronzer just sparingly is I do find that bronzer can really like add onto the makeup, and I want it to look like I don't have too much makeup on. Although this is a full face of makeup to try and cover up what I've got going on, I want it to feel lighter. I don't want it to feel like I have a lot of makeup on. I don't want it to look like I have a lot of makeup on, because I want it to help me feel more confident about the situation. So next up, I'm going to do blush. Now for me, a powdered blush just doesn't really work when my skin's not great. So I am going to use a cream blush. I am going to use the Stila cream blush. I believe this is in the color Peony. And I'm just gonna use a flat topped e.l.f. powder brush. Find it works well. And I'm just gonna dab it like this into the product. Get a little bit more. And then I'm literally just, oh, you can see it brings a lot of product on. So just going like that onto the cheeks. And using a cream-based blush will just add some glow to the face, and it won't add kind of cakiness where you don't want it. And I use a beauty blender just around kind of my mouth, because I find sometimes my blush can kind of build up and look a little bit odd. So next up, I'm just going to apply my Benefit What's Up cream-based highlighter. I can't get words out today. And I'm gonna apply that really sparingly as well. So I'm actually going to use it on my finger, I think. And just kind of dab it on my cheekbones like that to add some shine. And down the bridge of my nose, because it's kind of essential to me to highlight my nose. It's funny, I never thought that I would like that, but I love it. Okay, and now mascara. So I'm just gonna curl my lashes and we'll move on. I don't always curl my lashes, but for some reason they're doing something really weird lately. So I'm gonna use the Lancome Monsieur Big as my mascara of choice today because it is very volumizing mascara, and I do like that when my skin's not so great. It's to take away from the rest of my face a little bit. Okay, so there you have it. The last thing I do is obviously apply a bit of lip. So I do try and do a much more natural lip when my skin's not so great, because for some reason, when I have a little bit more makeup on the rest of my face, I can really see the difference around my mouth. This might sound so bizarre. I'm just gonna do lip liner, believe it or not. And maybe a little bit of lip balm. So I'm gonna use this Bare Minerals lip liner. This is in Vibe. Okay, so I just apply lip liner and I actually fill my lips in with the lip liner a little bit, and then the Bare Minerals lip liners are not too drying, so I can actually rub my lips together, and then I'll apply a little bit of a lip balm or something like that throughout the day as needed. But this is the finished product, so I don't know why, but I don't like wearing a full lipstick with this makeup look when my skin's not doing so great, because I do find the contrast between the lipstick and the makeup around my mouth can kind of be weird for some reason. So this is kind of how I like to leave it. This is my kind of go-to with what I use for powdered products, what I used for more wet or moussey kind of liquid-based products, what works well for me when I am trying to conceal kind of some tough skin days. So I hope that this was informative and helped you guys kind of come up with an ideas of a concoction of things that might work. Oh, totally forgot. I like to finish with a setting spray that's a little bit dewier, so I'm going to use the NYX Dewy Finish. And it's very wet at first, so just wait a second. Okay guys, there you have it. That is my makeup look. I hope it was informative to you. I think I've been playing around with what works for my skin and what doesn't, because I always struggled with, should I use kind of liquid-based products, should I use powder-based products when my skin is breaking out? And I think this little concoction works really well for me, and I hope it works well for you guys as well. Give it a shot. You definitely don't need to buy these exact products. You totally can, because they're all great. But let me know kind of what you guys put together, what works for you, kind of tips and tricks that you might have when you're having some off days in the skin world. So let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, I would love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe for more videos to come. It's been great to have you, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much, guys. Oh, totally forgot to mention, go to my favorite mascaras video. I'll link it down below to enter my giveaway. I'm going to announce the winner at the end of this week, the last day of the month, and I'm going to give away my top 3 mascaras, including this guy, because he's pretty awesome. So have a look, watch the video, enter the giveaway if you're interested in getting some brand new mascaras to yourself.